I am standing in our living room right now, holding a wedding ring in my palm. 5 years ago, Megan looked into my eyes and said, "I will love you forever." I believed every word, but forever turned out to be much shorter than I expected. The night she asked for a girls' night out, I had no idea my entire world was about to collapse. She walked out that door with a smile on her face, heading straight to another man. What happened next changed everything I believed about love and trust. Before I share this story with you, let me know where you are watching from today. Drop your location in the comments below. If you have ever been betrayed by someone you trusted, completely hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Stay with me through this entire story, because the ending is something you will not see coming. I met Megan 7 years ago at an outdoor concert in Austin, Texas. She was standing near the food trucks, laughing at something her friend said, and the sound of her laughter caught my attention immediately. She had this energy about her, this lightness that made everyone around her feel good. We started talking that night, and I knew within the first hour that she was someone special. We dated for 2 years before I proposed. Those 2 years were filled with late-night conversations, road trips to nowhere in particular, and the kind of easy happiness that makes you believe you have found your person. When she said yes to my proposal, I thought I was the luckiest man alive. Our wedding was small but perfect, just family and close friends in a little venue outside Dallas. Megan wore a simple white dress, and when she walked down that aisle toward me, I remember thinking that nothing could ever break what we had. We built a life together. After 2 years of marriage, we bought a small house in the suburbs. Nothing fancy, just a 3-bedroom place with a backyard where our golden retriever Bailey could run around. I worked as a software engineer at a tech company, putting in long hours to make sure we could pay the mortgage and save for the future. Megan handled all the decorating, turning that house into a real home. We had plans. We talked about having kids in a year or two. We talked about growing old together. I thought we were on the same page about everything. The first signs of trouble appeared about 8 months ago. Megan got promoted to senior marketing coordinator at her company. I was proud of her. I took her out to dinner to celebrate, bought her flowers, told her how much she deserved this opportunity. But something started shifting after that promotion. She began coming home later and later. At first, it was once a week, then twice, then almost every night. She always had an explanation: team building events, client dinners, project deadlines. I did not question it because I trusted her completely. Why would I doubt my own wife? Then I noticed other changes. Megan started buying new clothes, things she never would have worn before: tight dresses, expensive heels, designer bags. She spent more time on her makeup, more time at the gym. I told myself she was just trying to look professional for her new position. I wanted to be supportive, not jealous. Her phone habits changed too. She used to leave her phone anywhere, never worried about me seeing anything. Now it was always face down on the table. She changed her password and never told me the new one. When I walked into a room while she was texting, she would quickly put the phone away. I ignored all of it. I convinced myself I was being paranoid. This was Megan, my wife, the woman who promised to love me forever. She would never do anything to hurt me. Then came the Friday night. Megan told me she was going out for a girls' night with some coworkers. She came downstairs wearing a red dress I had never seen before, the kind of dress that turns heads. She had done her hair differently, curled and flowing over her shoulders. The perfume she was wearing was expensive, not her usual scent. "Do not wait up," she said, grabbing her purse. "We might be out late." I asked what time she thought she would be home. She said around 11. She did not get home until 2 in the morning. When she finally walked through the door, she seemed annoyed that I was still awake. "Why are you being so controlling?" she snapped when I asked where she had been. The next morning, I found something that made my stomach drop. Megan had left her purse on the kitchen counter, and a receipt was sticking out. I pulled it out without thinking. It was from an Italian restaurant downtown, one of those romantic spots with candles on every table. The receipt was for 2 people, not a group of girls, just 2. I stood there in the kitchen, staring at that receipt, feeling something cold settle in my chest. There had to be an explanation. Maybe one of her friends had paid separately. Maybe the others had left early. I wanted to believe there was an innocent reason for all of this. I wanted to be wrong. For the next 2 weeks, I watched everything more carefully. I did not confront Megan because I needed to be sure. I needed evidence before I could accuse my wife of something so devastating. I started checking our phone bill, the one that came to both our names. There was a number that appeared constantly, sometimes 20 or 30 times a day. Late night calls, early morning texts, the same number over and over again. Megan would sit on the couch next to me, laughing at her phone, typing away with a little smile on her face. When I asked who she was talking to, she would say it was just a coworker or just her mom. But I had never seen her smile like that when texting her mother. One evening I noticed a bracelet in her jewelry drawer that I did not recognize. It was silver, with small diamonds, expensive looking. I had not bought it for her. It was not her birthday. It was not our anniversary. Where did it come from? The breakthrough came on a Tuesday night. Megan had been using our shared laptop to check something, and she forgot to log out of her email. I was not planning to snoop. I just opened the laptop to do some work, and there it was, her inbox wide open. There were dozens of emails from someone with the initials DL. I clicked on one, then another, then another. Each one made me feel sicker than the last. The messages were intimate, filled with words that should have been reserved for me. They talked about hotel rooms. They talked about how much they missed each other. They talked about their future together. One email from Megan made me grab the edge of the desk to steady myself. "My husband is clueless," she had written. "He will never find out. He is too trusting." I spent the next hour reading through everything. The affair had been going on for at least 6 months. They met at hotels. They went to expensive restaurants. They had inside jokes and pet names for each other. I searched for DL online and found him quickly. Derek Lawson, 38 years old, marketing director at Megan's company, her boss. I looked at his LinkedIn profile, his professional headshot staring back at me. Then I found his Facebook. There he was with his wife Linda and their 2 young children. A happy family photo, everyone smiling. This man had a wife, he had kids, and he was sleeping with mine. I did not sleep that night. I lay in bed next to Megan, listening to her breathe, wondering how she could sleep so peacefully while destroying everything we had built. I kept thinking about those emails. He is too trusting. She was right. I had been. Over the next few days, I lost 5 pounds. I could not eat. I could not focus at work. Every time I looked at Megan, I saw a stranger. The woman I loved, the woman I thought I knew, did not exist anymore. Maybe she never had. Finally, I decided I could not live in limbo anymore. I printed out the emails. I gathered the receipt from the restaurant. I prepared myself for the hardest conversation of my life. I waited until a quiet evening. Megan was sitting on the couch scrolling through her phone as usual. I walked in and placed the stack of papers on the coffee table in front of her. "We need to talk," I said. She looked up annoyed. "About what?" "About Derek Lawson." The color drained from her face. For a moment, she just stared at the papers. Then she grabbed them, flipping through the printed emails, her hands shaking. "You went through my stuff." She was not apologizing. She was attacking. "How dare you invade my privacy? How dare I?" I could not believe what I was hearing. "You have been sleeping with another man for 6 months, and you are angry at me." What happened next shattered whatever hope I still had. Megan did not apologize. She did not cry and beg for forgiveness. Instead, she got defensive. Then she got cruel. "Maybe if you paid more attention to me, this would not have happened," she said. "You are always working. You never take me anywhere nice. Derek understands me. He treats me like a queen." "He is married," I said. "He has children. So what, his marriage is dead. He is going to leave her." I stood there looking at this woman I had spent 5 years of my life with, and I did not recognize her at all. I gave her one chance, one final opportunity to choose our marriage. "If you walk out that door to see him again," I said slowly, "there will be consequences. I am asking you to end this right now and work on our marriage with me." Megan laughed, actually laughed. "What are you going to do? Brant cry about it? You are pathetic." She grabbed her purse and headed for the door. At the threshold, she turned back with a smirk. "Do not wait up for me. Derek is taking me to a 5-star hotel tonight. At least he knows how to treat a woman." The door slammed behind her. She laughed at my warning. She had no idea what was coming. I stood alone in that empty house for about 10 minutes, just processing what had happened. My wife had chosen another man right in front of me. She had mocked me while doing it. Something shifted inside me in that silence. The pain was still there, but underneath it a cold clarity was forming. I was not going to fall apart. I was not going to beg. I was going to act. I picked up my phone and called Marcus, my best friend since college. Marcus was a divorce attorney, one of the best in Dallas. He answered on the second ring. "Brant, everything okay?" "No," I said. "I need your help, tonight." Marcus was at my house within 40 minutes. I told him everything. The affair, the emails, the way Megan had laughed in my face. He listened without interrupting his expression, growing more serious with each detail. "Okay," he said when I finished. "Here is what we are going to do." Marcus explained that Texas is not a no-fault divorce state. Adultery can be considered when dividing assets. With the evidence I had, I was in a strong position. He told me to back up everything. Every email, every text message, every receipt. Put it all in multiple places where Megan could not delete it. That night, while my wife was in a hotel room with her lover, I was building my case. I opened a new bank account in my name only and transferred half of our joint savings into it. I was not trying to steal from her. I was protecting myself from being left with nothing. Marcus helped me draft the divorce papers. We made sure everything was documented. Every hotel charge on our shared credit card. Every suspicious expense. It was all there in black and white. But I was not finished. I kept thinking about Linda Lawson, Derek's wife. The woman in those happy family photos, completely unaware that her husband was betraying her. She had 2 young children. She deserved to know the truth. The next morning, I found Linda's contact information. It was not hard. Derek had a family email address listed on some community website for their neighborhood. I composed a message carefully. I did not want to be cruel. I just wanted to be honest. "Dear Linda," I wrote, "I am sorry to be the one to tell you this, but I believe you deserve to know the truth about your husband. My name is Brant, and my wife Megan has been having an affair with Derek for the past 6 months. I have attached evidence including emails and receipts. I know this is devastating and I'm sorry, but I thought you should know. I attached the most damning evidence and hit send. Linda called me 3 hours later. She was crying, but there was steel in her voice underneath the tears. "Thank you," she said. "Thank you for telling me." She told me that this was not the first time Derek had cheated. He had done it before years ago, and she had forgiven him for the sake of their children. He had promised it would never happen again. She had believed him. "Not this time," she said. "This time I am done." Linda hired the most aggressive divorce attorney in the city. But she did something else too. She reported Derek's behavior to the Human Resources Department at his company. Apparently, there were strict policies about relationships between supervisors and subordinates. Derek had violated multiple company rules by sleeping with an employee he directly managed. Within a week, Derek Lawson was fired. The news spread through the company like wildfire. Everyone knew why he had been terminated. Everyone knew about Megan. Megan called me panicked the day after Derek lost his job. "What did you do?" she screamed into the phone. "I told the truth," I said. "That is all. You ruined everything. No, Megan, you did that yourself." The fallout at her company was brutal. Her coworkers knew about the affair. They knew she had gotten her promotion because she was sleeping with the boss, not because of her talent. People stopped talking to her in meetings. She was excluded from projects. She ate lunch alone. Then the internal investigation concluded. Megan's promotion was reviewed and found to be influenced by her relationship with Derek. She was demoted to a position lower than what she had before. Her career at that company was effectively over. But the worst part for Megan was Derek himself. When he lost his job, when his wife filed for divorce and took nearly everything, he turned on Megan completely. "You ruined my life," he told her, according to what she later admitted. "I never should have gotten involved with you." He blocked her number. He deleted all their messages. He disappeared from her life, as if she had never existed. The man who was going to leave his wife and treat her like a queen had thrown her away like garbage the moment she became inconvenient. 1 week after Derek vanished, I had Marcus send Megan the divorce papers. She called me immediately sobbing. "Brant, please, we can work this out. I made a mistake." "You made a choice," I corrected her. "Over and over again you made a choice. Now, you have to live with it." The divorce papers outlined everything. I would keep the house since I had paid most of the mortgage. Our other assets would be split according to Texas law, with the adultery taken into consideration. Megan would not be getting the payout she might have expected from a simple no-fault divorce. She had gambled everything on Derek Lawson. She had lost. 2 weeks after Megan received the divorce papers, she showed up at the house. I almost did not recognize her. The confident woman who had walked out in that red dress was gone. In her place was someone with dark circles under her eyes, unwashed hair, and a desperate expression. "Please," she said, standing on the porch. "Can we just talk?" I let her in. Not because I wanted to reconcile, but because I needed to say what I had to say. She sat on the couch where she used to scroll through messages from her lover. Now she was hunched over crying, begging. "I was so stupid," she said. "Derek meant nothing. He was just... I do not know. I was bored. I felt unappreciated. But you are the one I love, Brant. You have always been the one." "You told him I was clueless," I said quietly. "You told him I would never find out because I was too trusting." She flinched like I had hit her. "I did not mean it." "Yes, you did. Every word." Megan tried everything. She promised to go to therapy. She promised to change. She said she would spend the rest of her life making it up to me if I just gave her another chance. A few days later, her parents called. Megan's mother and father, the Pattersons, had always liked me. They asked if we could talk. "We know Megan made a terrible mistake," her mother said. "But marriage is about forgiveness. Can you find it in your heart to try again?" I told them the full story. Not just that Megan had cheated, but how she had done it. The mocking, the cruelty, the way she had laughed at me and walked out to be with another man right in front of my face. There was a long silence on the phone. "We did not know all of that," her father said finally. His voice was heavy. Her mother spoke next, and she sounded like she might be crying. "I am ashamed of what she did. You deserve better, Brant. I am sorry." They never pressured me again. The divorce was finalized 3 months later. Megan signed everything. She did not have much choice given the evidence against her. She got her share of the assets, but it was far less than she would have gotten if she had simply been a faithful wife. The months after the divorce was final were the hardest. The house felt empty without another person in it, even if that person had betrayed me. Bailey would sit by the door sometimes waiting for Megan to come home, not understanding why she never did. I lost weight. I could not sleep through the night. I kept replaying everything in my head, wondering if I had missed signs earlier, wondering if I could have done something differently. Some nights I would sit in the dark living room and just feel the weight of it all. 5 years of marriage, 7 years together, total. Gone because she wanted excitement. Gone because I was boring. But slowly things started to change. I began going to the gym regularly, not to look good for anyone else, but because I needed somewhere to put all the anger and sadness I was carrying. I started running in the mornings before work. The physical exhaustion helped quiet my mind. I got a promotion at my company. My boss said my work had been exceptional lately, that I seemed more focused than ever. I did not tell him it was because I had nothing else to focus on. I reconnected with old friends I had neglected during my marriage. I joined a hiking group that met on weekends. There was something healing about being outdoors surrounded by people who did not know my story, who just saw me as a guy who liked to climb mountains. I started seeing a therapist too, not because I was falling apart, but because I wanted to process everything properly. I did not want to carry this bitterness into whatever came next in my life. About a year after the divorce, I met someone new. Her name was Sophie, and she was part of the hiking group. She was kind, genuine, easy to talk to. We started as friends, and I was careful to keep it that way for a long time. I was not ready to trust anyone with my heart again. But Sophie was patient. She did not push. She just showed up consistently and let me heal at my own pace. I do not know where that relationship will go. Maybe somewhere beautiful, maybe nowhere at all. But I have learned that the destination is not the point. The point is to keep moving forward, to stay open to possibility, to refuse to let one person's betrayal close you off from the world. Megan reached out to me once about 8 months after the divorce. She sent a long email apologizing for everything, saying she had been in therapy, saying she finally understood the damage she had caused. I read it once and deleted it. I did not respond, not because I hate her. I do not. The anger faded a long time ago. I just have nothing left to say. She made her choices. I made mine. Our story is over. I learned something important from all of this. You cannot control what other people do. You cannot make someone love you. You cannot make someone be faithful. The only thing you can control is how you respond when they show you who they really are. Megan showed me who she was when she laughed at my warning and walked out that door. I believed her. And then I acted accordingly. I also learned that self-respect matters more than love. I loved Megan deeply, but I loved myself enough to walk away when she proved she did not deserve me. That is not arrogance. That is survival. If you are watching this and you are going through something similar, I want you to know that it gets better. Not immediately, not easily, but eventually the pain fades and you find yourself again on the other side. Sometimes the person you would take a bullet for is the one holding the gun, but that does not mean you have to stand there and let them shoot. So here is my question for you. Have you ever had to walk away from someone you loved because they showed you who they really were? How did you find the strength to move forward? Share your story in the comments below. I read every single one, and your experience might help someone else who is going through the same thing right now. If this story resonated with you, please give it a like. It helps more people find these videos and know they are not alone. Subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more stories like this one, and share this video with someone who might need to hear it today. Thank you for being here with me through this entire story. I hope you never have to go through what I went through. But if you do, I hope you remember that you are worth more than someone else's betrayal. Take care of yourself. And remember, your peace is worth more than their presence.